Hi, bonjour. Okay, welcome to our channel. And I'm Mary, your host for today's episode. This episode is a little bit special because we are speaking a blend of English and Chinese. We are excited to have a wonderful guest from Australian, Steph and Cyann. Okay. Before we dive into our topics, let me introduce myself and our channel to our fans and audience. First, I want to apologize to your fans and audience because actually my English isn't good enough because I was graduated in Hong Kong in year 12 or year 13 something. Not finished my university, but I will try my best to show your talent to our audience in Hong Kong.
I think your English is great.
Thank you so much. Actually, we are HKSP, a group that hosting tailor-made swingers parties worldwide, but mostly we are in Hong Kong. Yeah. And beside organizing these parties, we are also to introduce various aspects of other cultures, including porn art, shibari, BDSM, or everything that is related to sex, even in sex education or anti-sex violence.
Yeah.
But today, we are not won't be the spotlight because today the most important is Steph and Cyann. Okay. For this part, maybe we need to talk about how we met. Do you still remember how we met, Steph?
Yes, so
You sure?
I remember a little bit. We
just
were at
okay.
Pxxnhxb, and
Yeah.
that was a very busy event. It was our first expo, so we were quite overwhelmed by the audience that were there, and it was a very busy time. And I do remember you coming over and briefly discussing to me what your what the business is and like the parties and stuff. And it was a very brief encounter, but you might have a different memory. So what do you remember?
Yeah, exactly. What do I remember is I'm just like an idiot and going to the first time to go to Expo, and I don't know what to do. So I just like a normal person and just keep walking. And when I go to the main stage, they have a scene that made me so amazing because that is you and Cyann. I think you are on the main stage is a painting and drawing.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite interested in some art piece. Before we start this podcast, we off mic. We talk a little bit about our art piece, our products, and wow, the art piece is so amazing. According to my memory, and she is painting a lady that is so hot. And when I'm watching, what she is drawing, and then my eyes start turning into another lady's Cyann. And what she is doing actually is she's dancing, and she's not just normal dancing, and she's performing twerking. I think most of you know what is twerking, right? Wow, it is so attractive, and then everything. The bouncing, the dancing, the momentum, the movement is so gorgeous. And I see they have a lot of people surrounding in the main stage. And at that moment, they have a voice to telling me, I need to find you to have a talk. To Lexi, they have some collaboration or not. But so I'm just waiting the chance, and I just keep waiting, let you finish the performing, and then I walk to your booth and have a chit chat with you. But I dare not to disturb you a lot because there have many people. It seems waiting to buy your art piece. Busy.
Yeah, I'm so busy.
Yeah. So that's why just a chit chat update, and at that moment we don't have a deep talk about that. And after that date, and I was so busy to deal with some Hong Kong issue and some business in Hong Kong, so I did follow up a lot until they have Sexpo in Sydney, right? I think 2 weeks before or 1 month before.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
In Sydney.
Yeah. So I this time I asked my college, and actually he's a staff in Sydney, and he's also hosting the parties for us. And I asked him, he must attend to this event to help me to deliver a message to you to say hello. And I didn't give him any instructions, but I think he is good, and he just bought an art piece for me.
Yeah, he did.
A few.
Which one should
He bought this one.
That's
Okay.
right.
So I'll try and get that without the glare on it. But yeah,
I think it is
that's
okay to show it in YouTube. That's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the main point is he also seeing the same screen. There have so many people is waiting. So he also didn't speak too much to you, but at least I do think he have delivered some message to you. So that's why while I'm waiting for you coming to Perth, and I need to this time I need to invite you to do an interview to see whether we do have to share your stories to our audience. Yeah. So that's why that's how we met, and it's pretty good. So I think one by one, start from Steph first, and I will ask the question about Cyann, about you. So I have prepared some questions. So just give me a second.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yes, for the first part, actually, I always want to ask, did you grow up in an artistic family? Or, when you're born in a child or a kid, you already got talent?
So my family's not artistic like in painting. I come from a creative family, so my brothers were always very good at building and like creating new machines. Like my dad would always create new machines by combining machines together for his business. And he's an incredible writer, so that creative mindset is very much there for my dad. And then my brothers, like my oldest brother, he creates animals out of farm machinery. So it was very natural for us to always be creating, I guess, especially as we've all become adults. We're all very, artistic in that way. But as a painter, I am the only one. And I've been doing it since I was a kid. So like drawing, painting, colouring in, and then throughout at school, it just progressed more and more. And I studied it throughout school and in uni as well. And then took it on professionally about a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah, I was, up until about a year ago, I was in mining. So I used to be a machine operator. And then I took the leap to go into what I've always wanted to do, but never had the guts to do. Yeah,
because, we didn't mention it about, we are in Perth right now. And usually many people, they are working in Perth, they are choosing mining because it is so popular. And also a very good salary. How can I say that?
That's very true. It's great money.
no offense. Just,
it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
So now you mean that you have quit your current job, or you're still working in mining?
No, so I haven't worked in mining since April 2023.
Oh, that is a huge change, and you need to take a lot of guts to do this.
It was a huge change. It was massive, and it's been the best thing I've ever done. It's provided me with the ability to actually enjoy my life, and it's allowed me to have my best friend live with me and pursue a life in art and in a community in Perth that is incredibly supportive. And it's just been really incredible finding myself outside of mining. And
so it is so amazing because I'm not discriminate or saying Hong Kong people is not good, but it is not easy for us in Hong Kong in taking such of these big change because it is not easy.
And sorry, you go.
You go.
I was just gonna say, it wasn't the reason I changed everything was I had a sudden loss in my life that jolted me. So my mum died suddenly last March.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. And it was just, I sort of sat there and just was in this place in my life that from the outside looked incredible. Like I had the partner, the job, the money, and I was miserable. And then when my mum died, I couldn't fathom the idea of being in that life without her there to support me through it. And that is a big motivator to why I just left a lot of it behind. I left my job, I left my relationship, and I pursued a space in a creative career that brought back that joy that I'd lost in that moment. And it allowed me to have some semblance of peace. And that also ties into like the polyamory community and the kink community in Perth as well. But it was just this sort of big breaking moment in my life that led to all that change. So it wasn't a premeditated change, it was very instant.
Yeah, but this all happened in the last year.
Yeah.
So the kinky things.
Yeah.
Things. Oh, just really.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
It was very big change real quick, and it was...
It's just like 180 degrees to turn into another field.
Well, actually, it was what I'd always wanted, but was far too afraid to ever go for.
Yeah.
I always,
Yeah, because sorry, I maybe I have some stereotype. I think that if you draw this kind of new art or not porn, nude art, I think you have practiced a lot. You have a lot of experience, or you have a lot of interest in kinky. But just to be honest, I just like all of our audience right now. I just know this fact. At this moment, so or just happened or discovered in just the last year.
Well, it was always something I had been suspicious that I'd wanted, like not being like I'd always. Like, I think probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I came to the conclusion that I was polyamorous, so wanting to have multiple loves or multiple partners at the same time. But I was always in monogamous relationships, so it was something I had to suppress, and for the sake of the relationship to survive. And in many ways I did that, like in my desire towards kink and diverse relationships, in queer relationships, I was always in a lifestyle or a relationship or a job that couldn't facilitate that. And so all these parts that were key to who I wanted to be and who I felt myself, like I always thought I could be if I ever, had the guts, I was just suppressing until I became so small that I became almost an unrecognizable version of myself. And that was pretty much brings us to the point where my mum died, and I broke, and I just went, absolutely not. I am so tired of living a life that looks great but isn't. I want to give it a crack and live the life that I've always wanted.
Being Steph Herde suits you.
Thank you, baby. And that's it. Like
This is it.
Yeah, I think I lived a lot of my life previously in fear. And I was afraid of how it would look and how it might not work. And I lost the biggest thing that I'd always been afraid of, which was losing my mum. And it happened, and suddenly I had no room for any other fear. And I was able to then just be like, fuck it, let's go. Like, let's try and actually live what we've always wanted.
Your life is short and unpredictable.
Very much.
Just YOLO. You only live once.
I haven't heard that in a minute, but yes.
Right. Yeah. So and I think the most important thing is that we are not going to hurt any people. We just doing something that we feel you just respect ourselves, our deep heart, and we are not, and our aim's not going to hurt any people. Yeah. If everything is all right, why don't we have to try? Yeah. Just like us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So for the love story between you and Sing, I will ask a little bit later in the first part. So because we're still going through the question first. So
I'll try not to derail you too much.
So that means because actually your answer is all go through my questions, because I would like to ask you, when did you start during your nude and adult topics? It's all from the last years, right?
Well, originally when I left mining, I really tried everything. So I painted a lot of different things. I was doing commissions for customers that was like pet portraits, sunflowers, landscapes. And I couldn't understand why I was so miserable doing it. Like, I wanted to be an artist, and here I was being an artist, and it wasn't what I wanted. And I remember I was doing a pet portrait for my brother as a gift.
Okay.
And it was driving me up the wall. Like, I hated it. Like, it turned out beautifully. But at the same time, I started painting a nude, sort of like a palette cleanser. So I would do something I liked, and then I go back to painting the dog. And I just found painting a nude so soothing, and it actually brought that energy back into myself versus just putting it onto the canvas. And slowly but surely I started painting more nudes, and I'd go to markets and I'd have like these cloud scenes of the beach, and then I'd have a thing of breasts, like a picture of boobs, and it was starting to not look like it was the same artist. And yeah, I found so much more joy in exploring the body and not seeing it only as a sexual thing, but instead seeing it as this really beautiful thing to embrace and to highlight. And yes,
Wonderful.
Slowly I started phasing the rest out, and it just became nudes.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, so that's why I already asked my subordinate in Sydney to buy one to put it in our future studio.
How incredible.
That's so much. So we'll go through it about it later, and we'll like to go to ask more questions about Zyann. But before that, how you met Zyann? Can you just simply to describe to us?
So I met Zyann.
Is she the person who changed you suddenly?
So Zyann and I actually met about 7 years ago.
Oh, 7 years ago.
Yes. And she was 19 and I was 25 or 24. Okay. And we were working in a pub, and she and I just started talking one day, and we actually got onto the same topic about a sex toy and realized we had the same one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a vibrator womanizer.
Yeah, vibrator. And as soon as we realized that, I was like, oh, I think we're going to get along just fine.
Okay.
And we'd go get our nails done together, and it was just for 6 months. We run amok around Adelaide because we're from South Australia.
Okay.
So we aren't from Perth originally. And for 6 months over the summer, we would go to the beach together with our dogs. We'd go partying together, dancing. And then, after that 6 months, I went into mining in South Australia.
I felt like I lost half of myself.
And that's it. We had to be long distance. Like our friendship had to be long distance for the next 5 or so years.
Yeah. Long time.
Exactly. And in that time, Zyann went through a lot of change and a lot of things, and she was eventually living up in Queensland.
Oh, Queensland.
And last year, about June, July, I just called her up and was like, what do you think about moving to Perth?
Good weather.
Yeah. It was just like, okay.
Well, I had the house to myself.
Have you tried to give her some selling point about the advantage in Perth?
Well, I'd flown her out to Perth before, and so she had been here before, but it was different. I had a partner at the time, and we weren't in the right spaces. So it wasn't the best time. And this time around, I just felt like it was our time to be back together.
Yeah,
we were ready.
Yeah, because I think the things that we've achieved now being together, I don't think we would have if we did when it was 6 months prior or whatever.
Yeah, we had to grow as individuals in us. Yeah,
exactly.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I just, once I felt that I was strong enough in myself past losing my mum, leaving a relationship I'd been in for 4 years, and actually was starting to develop my art, I just looked around my house and I was like, it's so empty, and I miss her so much. And when I called her and she was like, okay. And she came over for a 10-day trip in August.
As a tester.
As a test run.
Okay.
Test run.
Because we haven't spent that long together in 5 years.
Yeah, we're like, what if we get sick of each other after a week? Oh no.
And it was amazing.
Was not the case.
It was amazing.
May I know what is your zodiac, your horoscope? Sagittarius, Leo,
Yeah, Sagittarius.
and stuff.
I'm Libra.
Oh, I'm Libra as well.
There you go.
Okay, Libra, Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So why I asked, because when I just keep chit-chat with you, and I heard I can get the message that Zyann is so straightforward, and it is the action power. Okay. Oh, you want me to come? Okay, go. Good, cool, go. Okay.
Let's go. Okay, now, woo.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess.
Yeah.
Good. That was a very good guess.
That was good.
There's a lot of...
Well, it is a fire sign.
Yeah.
Cool. And Libra, we are so fair.
What are we? We're air signs, aren't we? Libra? Are we
Libra.
air?
Yeah, we are we are fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are always
Fire needs air to breathe.
There you go.
Libra is wind and Sagittarius is fire. So wind and fire
There you go.
grow together. Which is
Yay.
make it.
Yeah, that
We
makes
make
sense.
the fire bigger.
Yes, okay.
We do.
So good.
Go.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah.
For start the topic for about Zyann.
Yeah.
Yep. So for Zyann, we just know that you are Sagittarius, and it is a funny guy. So always bring people happy and energetic. You're
Yeah.
energetic always to make people happy, but always you keep the sad things inside your heart, and you just want everybody being happy around you.
Yeah.
And I think you can do it, and you can make Steph happy right now.
She does. She really does.
Okay. Well, besides this, we would like to know more about you, because we just heard from Steph said that you come from Queensland. Actually, I will say that my first picture in my eyes about you is in the main stage. You're performing twerking. So actually, when you start learning twerking, or from the kids.
Yeah. So it was kind of just. It kind of found me. I think, just dancing at the clubs and stuff. And then it was just, I really like this and it makes me feel really good. And then I started following a lot of international twerkers and interstate twerkers. So like Perth Twerk here in Perth and Booty Factory. And then obviously international twerkers, and that's how I learned. Like I just watched them all the time, and because it was so amazing, and I was so mesmerized. Like, how is this happening? How is this happening? How are they doing this? And I wanted to be able to do it, and I did. And when you're doing it, it makes you feel so good. And throughout the time of the past few years, it has been a massive, trauma release for me as well, and me not realizing that that's actually how you release traumas, through your hips. So that was a big, again, learning, so much learning that came with destigmatizing that it is sexualized and it is provocative dancing. And it's just so beautiful when you really understand how much strength and technique it takes to do, what we do.
So amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hot and it also is hard. Yeah.
Right. It's good. It's a bit of both.
So from I think before twerking, do you have you practiced any other dancing before, or like popping, locking, or something?
When I was younger, I did jazz, tap, hip hop, ballet.
Wow.
And I ended up breaking my ankle when I was about 16-ish. And that I was out for 3 years, and my specialist no, you're not going to dance again. And here I am doing it. But I actually didn't dance properly, other than, in the club and having fun for 8-9 years. Until properly recently.
Okay, so any trigger point, that's a moment that makes you, trekking is my things, or any special moment to trigger you?
As in,
What was your this is it moment?
I don't.
Yeah. Or just suddenly, or the
Do you
God send
know-
me a message.
Yeah, so it's actually funny because there was no moment, but I remember the moment of when I uploaded something on Instagram for one of the first times.
Okay.
And it was actually of me twerking, and I was actually trying, not just a little Snapchat in the club. And I think just I don't know, I got confidence by the feedback I got from that. And, silly as that may sound to some people, it's that helped me to be able to do it more and open up myself to continue to do it. And I used to be ashamed to be how many likes am I getting, or how many this, and it's no, y'all make me feel great, and thank you so much.
Nice. Because why I need to ask you this question, for the foreign question, maybe a little bit serious, but we would like to know more about that. Because no matter I don't know what is the environment in Australia, but in Hong Kong, people think twerking is kind of, they don't think twerking is a dancing. They just think just kind of flirting or some seductive action before sex.
Yeah.
So they think maybe twerking is a little bit low grade, low end or something, not showing respect. But at your moment, I mean, I think in Australia, do you are facing a similar question, or is there any noise that to some people or your friends to judge you or give you some comments or not to learn this kind of dancing, or that they should support, or you just do what you want?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've had a lot of I guess comments regarding it being provocative and you're doing it for attention and everything under the sun. And I think that it all just became a lot of noise for me, and I just started to ignore it because it's just I don't know, it doesn't help to listen to all that negativity because it only brings you down. And but when you receive it, you receive a lot of it, and it's just the way it is, unfortunately.
I think also being Zyan's also a dance teacher, so she's teaching the technique of breaking down twerking. So that shows how much of a dance it is. It is difficult. It is muscle isolation and it is hip coordination and foot and step following. It's hard.
Absolutely. It's just not like you, a normal person with that training, then you can just shake your butt and you can perform well.
That's right.
It is not easy.
It isn't. No, it isn't just shaking your booty. It's not.
And you need to control your twist, your abs, a lot of
a lot of strength.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Absolutely. My personal trainer, shout out to Mark, he hurts me every week.
Yes, we pay him to hurt us.
Pay him to
and we go back for more.
When we say hurt, we say PT, personal training in the gym. He is amazing at what he does, and it does help us to be able to be
stronger.
Strong to do what we want to.
He gets us stage ready pretty much.
Yeah.
That's our rule. We go, I just went in after Sydney. I was like, all right, we've got events coming up. I want you to get me ready for them. I want to be on stage looking the best.
Yeah,
Let's
go. We know that he will come through and put up with us yapping his ear off the whole time of the PT sessions. Anyway.
So it's really cool. So I would like to ask more about that. It is because I have to go through your Instagram and website. So you are now not just they have a free section in your website there. Just let me have a look. So you're doing some personal tailor-made show, or are you also teaching, or?
Yeah, so I offer one-on-one classes. So those sessions are purely tailored to the person and individual. So some people want to be able to make up a choreography just for themselves. They want to feel good. They want to feel confident. I want to feel myself in this choreography to a particular song. Or it might be, I want to, I've got my anniversary with my partner coming up and I want to do a little show for them. Or, it could be a group of 3 girls or 3 of your besties or, 3 of your mates. And, and they want to do a little choreo together. So it's just about what the client wants, and I'm there to assist in either making the choreography up for them or helping them to make the choreography for a performance. And just building confidence is what it's mainly all about,
Yeah. Okay, it doesn't matter. I will just put all the information, your website and your Instagram into our info box. So our audience can go through about it for her example service and also example classes. Just for details, you can just DM her to ask more detail about it. It's good. So, I've gone through your Instagram, Steph Instagram, and Zyann Instagram as well. So both of you have your own brand, but seems working together so closely. But actually, it is 2 individual brands, right? Steph Herde Art and Zyann Helven. Yeah. So, because I see the upcoming event, you both of you just go together, and the Sexpo you go together. So it is also a question. I'm curious, how to manage the personal life and the business together, because we see a lot of cases, maybe in Hong Kong or in some of our friends. It is very easy for arguing or have different ideas when working together and bring the working stuff back to home. So would like to know more about how to balance this in your personal life and your business life. Yeah.
Absolutely. So not only do we work together, but we are best friends, we also live together. So it adds a whole nother layer of everything. And I personally think that the way that we communicate is just top tier. Like I've never communicated so well with anyone. And that the communication just helps so much because we know when to listen to each other. We know when to, and if we don't know what each other needs, we just ask. And and we never get it's just so beautiful.
Well, the way we always used to say it was, we are the blueprint for how others should treat each other.
Yeah.
So, that's not to say we don't obviously get under each other's feet, like we do, but we know when to go, hey, maybe we need a moment. Or we have a safe word where we say pineapple, which usually just means pause.
Oh, just kind of safe word.
It's a safe word. Exactly.
And we use that everywhere. That's
we use it in so many terms.
Exactly. If one of us isn't hearing the other, pineapple. Yeah. It just lets us both know it's a safe space to just pause and then just sort of come back together a little bit more willing to listen.
Yeah, exactly. Because it could be just I might be too much in my mind, or you too much in my mind, and not actually listening to what we're saying. It's or whatever it might be. It's, and just actually I need you right now, pineapple, or or something, in a different environment.
And the thing is too, Zyann and I are very similar and also incredibly different at the same time. We have so many different approaches to how we do things, but there is a cohesiveness in our relationship that if I lack, she makes up for, and vice versa. And it is just a continual yin and yang of our efforts together, and it just works. It doesn't really make sense because we've worked at it. We've worked hard at making sure our relationship is protected.
I remember that was the first time of us actually having a conversation. I can't call it an argument because it wasn't, but as what discussion, but others might call it an argument. But it was something that I was just okay, how are we going to navigate this? Because we never have before. And it was so easy because it was just us talking, and it was just, oh wow, this is so easily resolved. How amazing. Why did I feel nervous about anything?
Well, I think, and also when you have certain boundaries / rules of for example, neither of us.
Strong.
We're both very strong-minded. We're both running our own businesses. We are both busy. And we also both show up for each other in a very...
Thanks for coming.
Oh, no worries.
Pleasure.
Not a problem.
Of course.
No, but it's this thing of I've forgotten what I was going to say now, but no, you're fine. But it's just for example, we have strict rules of we don't respond to yelling. So an argument / discussion, if ever to be had, will not be managed in any sort of heightened volumes.
Yelling never solve the problem.
And it goes to a thing of okay, we set this within ourselves, and therefore by a ripple effect, that same standard goes out to everyone else.
Yeah.
So no one will ever disrespect us or yell or use certain ways of communicating to us that we wouldn't accept from one another.
Yeah.
And so it's almost acted like we're teaching each other how to be loved, how to love each other, and what we will and won't tolerate in other dynamics.
That's fantastic. Just grow up together.
We have.
It's perfect, right?
It's
so
really
good
nice.
because now I know that anyone in my future, whether it's friendship, business related, or other intimate partner or whatever, it's this is the way. If I don't get minimum of this, you're cancelled.
This is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum of how we expect to be treated by others and by each other.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. So that's why it is a good example for our audience to know. No one is perfect, and people can make mistakes. But how to have a pause, or how to make it smooth. I think it is the most important things to our audience to learn, or even me to learn it, how to work it out. So very impressive. So I would like to ask one more question. Any special moment or interesting moment when you, I cannot say cooperate together, when you two together, any special things happen or impressive moment that can share to our audience, no matter it's a personal life or inside your job, or because actually job and your personal life, it come back together. It's just one of
Can I go
things.
first?
Yeah.
Okay, I have two.
Yeah,
So
two.
one's
Okay.
professional, one's personal.
Thank you. One by one.
So my first moment I ever saw Twerker-Zyann dance in a professional lens
Yeah.
Ooh.
was actually at a twerk championship a few months ago, and it was the first time I've ever seen her dance competitively.
The first time I ever had.
But it was just, I cried. It was
Whoa.
like, I was just so proud of her, and knowing where she started and what she's been through and where she's come and how she embraced living in Perth. And seeing how much incredible energy and how talented she is, and like knowing that that is my love, that is my girl, like she is just so incredible, and I get to be a part of this person's journey, and I get to watch this and share this with her, and then we get to share it on stage too. Like,
Wow. I can
was-
feel tears.
no, but it was just, and Z has had that with me. Like, she was there when I sold my first ever original, and that was,
It was so good.
it was.
So good.
Oh, come on. I don't have tissue.
No, it's fine. We're
Okay, sure.
We're criers.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, and like,
That is what we want. We are not just just like me, just like what I say at the beginning. I'm not perfect. My English isn't good enough, but I try to
That's
respect everyone, to show the true face of each other. So everything is good. And thanks for sharing your. Wow, so touching.
Well-
You can't see I'm almost crying, but it's
well, then the personal one was when she came back to me this
Yeah.
time last year, when she flew over for that first trial 10-day period.
okay.
And it was, what was that? The first time I'd seen you in like 2 years. And I've got it on film as well, because I sat there for like an hour waiting for her so I could get this perfect moment. And it just,
Is it the run?
yeah, the run. And it
So
was
cute.
just like,
Yeah, that's what it was.
yes.
Okay.
And she just looks so little, and I've just grabbed her, and it's just, yeah.
Wait, she's just like a kid running to you.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it just, honestly, I think that was like, my heart had been broken last year, and that was like from losing my mum, and you know, it's still broken, but this one heals so much of me that she didn't break. And that was that moment of me feeling like I was starting to come back together, was when I had her back in my life. So that's a personal one. And so many. I could talk to you for hours about all those things.
Yes, but today you are in hurry. If not, I can
Places
keep
to be.
But I
talking.
do want to say mine is when we were on stage at Sexpo.
Okay.
It was our first performance in Perth, and she was talking, and I was just like looking at her while I was in the pose, and it was so cool. It was just so beautiful. I remember like I almost started crying, and I was on stage, and I was like, I can't do this. You're so amazing, and that's what it was for me. Like,
Cool.
Yeah. I think we both just look at each other when we're doing what we do best, like me painting, her dancing, and we just look at each other and we're like, wow,
it was
like
amazing.
we get to be a part of this for each other.
I can feel that. Yeah. It's so speechless. Yeah, I can just feel that. It is so amazing.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. Yeah. So I don't know what to speak. Yeah, because your story touched me a lot, and I wish I have more time to go through your stories more and more, but time is expensive. But so because I know that Twerker they have another appointment is coming right now. So that's why I would like to move to the final part, because for the final part, I would like to go through their work, their art piece with all of you, because it is so amazing, and we would like to, and we are also going to have a chat with Steph to see whether we do have any collaboration in futures or not, because her work is so gorgeous. Can you show me something?
Yes,
how
of
it works?
course. So we have, this is actually, I don't know if we can see that. That was my first ever original nude that sold. So that was incredibly special. And then this is the piece that your friend came and purchased in a much larger version. Yeah. This one is of the incredible model and muse Zyann, her gorgeous booty. Okay. And this is the one I painted on Perth stage of Miss Zyann as well. Then we have another one of Z. She features in a lot.
Hey, it's only a few.
No, this is my rainbow girl. This is actually a gift I made for Z on her, like her homecoming to Perth. I wanted it.
So I have a Steph Herde art original.
Exactly. And then this might actually be one that the community really enjoys. This is a nice little bondage shibari rope tie. These are models. So a lot of my paintings feature other models. Zyann features in a lot because she's on stage with me. And also she lives with me. So if I have a pose in mind, she jumps in.
Hello.
But this...
They are actual Perth entertainers.
Yes. And they were on the main stage at Perth's Expo. So that was a really special collaboration working with them on that one.
Johnny and Kat.
Yes, Johnny and Kat. And then lucky last, this is one of an OF model in South Australia, Polly Wigney. She's quite incredible too. And so it's just a really great way to explore different poses, different bodies and different interests, and also that black and white tone with a colour pop. It just gives it something a little different, and that way you know when you're looking at a Steph Herde art piece.
I see. So actually, how we can buy your art piece?
Yes.
Usually in your online shop?
Yes, so I have a website, stephherde.art.com/Squarespace. You can go to my Instagram, stephherde.art, and all my links to my website, to my Facebook are all there. And if you do have any inquiries regarding commissions, you can either email through my website or DM through my Instagram and we can discuss. But you might want to get in quick as my bookings for commissions are filling right up to 2025. So yeah, it's been a busy year and it's going to be a busy year ahead.
Yeah, I was like,
Also a good year.
A great year. A lot of growth, which is wonderful.
I see. But at this moment, the artwork and art pieces will be only delivered inside Australia or delivered overseas?
At this time and moment, everything is deliverable in Australia. I haven't had any international clients except for one who bought in Australia and then took it back to New Zealand. But no, but obviously if there was a customer in in Hong Kong or anywhere else that was wanting to commission a piece and discuss shipping, etc., it would just be a factor into the price.
Yeah.
And that would be discussed when we're discussing everything else regarding that.
I hope you will get some international buyers soon.
Oh, me too. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Some Australian art, some Australian nude art in your home. Why not?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely. Thank you so much. There have a lot of things I need to go through about it. Yeah. But just like what I said, the time is almost run out. And for the final things, I would like to have a conclusion that no matter Steph or Zyann, do you have another message to deliver to our audience that is they are in this sex minority, because we are also a sex minority, kinky, fetish, LGBTQ plus, because in some countries or in some place it is not easy or maybe to disclose themselves or disclose their sexual behavior or share their kinky fetish with other friends.
Yeah.
But after this interview, we see that both of you, it is so open-minded and so straightforward about it. So that's why I would like to invite you to share some message to our audience to encourage them or wherever. Yeah.
I think we are proof of what good communication and, like you said, being open-minded can offer. I think Zyann and I would agree that we're both very interested in learning as we go and being open to new experiences. And obviously that's not available in every country. Obviously, if you're in a more conservative or regimented governmental style, that's going to be harder to access that information. But it's
using what you've got.
Yeah, using what you've got.
Yeah, also, communication and confidence and Yeah.
I think finding your community as well. Like finding your friendship group that is safe, or even an online community that is safe.
Yeah, even then though, you know, doing it just solo and, you know, as well is also another option.
True.
You don't always have to be feeling a part of being something for you to enjoy it still.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think also remembering that there's so much shame that comes around kink and fetish and a non-hetero life. And there really is.
It's easy for us to say, of course, but I think that's where I think the confidence, what I was just touched base on before, like just having the confidence behind what you are really, like, you know, like I said, like Steph Herde suits you, you know, it's just being you fully is so important.
Yeah, and it's definitely difficult removing shame and fear, but once you find a way, if it's safe to do so, and you start to break out and actually really engage with your true self, and whether it be in the queer community, in the kink community, or
like
any
you
of
said,
that.
even if it's online.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Or
it's just finding resources that will help educate you.
Yeah.
Like even the BDSM scene and dominant and submissive sort of areas, like learning the language around consent, aftercare, all these things. It's so important to continually learn and educate yourself on these areas, because that way you are not doing any harm to anyone.
Yeah, and when you go into an environment where then you know how to be speaking appropriately to someone, and you know, making sure everyone's happy and consent and everything is communication. Like
yes, and always ask, never assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always.
Enthusiastic consent.
We love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
So it's a very good that for this part, if you're still watching this video, watching this YouTube, please, I'll forget the term, like, subscribe, and comment. I'm not a professional. And I will put Steph and Science, the personal information, IG or website will be in our information box. So if you have interest to contact them to buy the art piece or to book Cyan to perform a show, I think you can just contact them directly. I think it is the most important things. And what we are doing is here, why we are doing English content, because we just want to connect our audience, no matter Australia to Hong Kong or Hong Kong to Australia.
I love that.
I think that is in our Chinese episode, we always say that sex minority is already a minority, so we don't need to limit ourselves. We shouldn't have the restriction of the country or area. We should be together.
Yeah.
Then the power will be big.
Yes.
To support.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will just keep bringing many interesting people and person to our interview. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wonderful.